hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last year and counting, because the daily stream streak will remain strong, I am here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for approximately the next 1 hour for today's stream. But before we get to the general Q&A, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, Dr. Vera Lovelace, congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Then, alongside you, Puppet Boy, Amber, Tyrone, Sleepless Dragon, Legendary Doge, Battle Blaster, Froy, Chesta Factory, Kitty Fly. Everybody who is here that I just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today as part of our membership here on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, 100 stars, Opal, Ghost Rider, Akavogue, Some Person, Milk Expires Tomorrow, and Dexter Morgan. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here today punctually, and thank you for being here just for being you. Now, today's stream is sponsored, and it is sponsored by us here at Site 42, as well as our friends at the scpstore.org and Plush Foundry. You currently have 18 days to purchase your Dr. Sherman Site Director plushie. After that, it will be gone forever. So, the plushie, 18 days left, links in the chat, in the VOD's description, or Desk is sharing them right now in the chat. Grab them while they, well, exist, because they soon won't. Thank you very much, Plush Foundry, for helping us with some dope plushies. Now, our final day subject is the main stream subject before we get to the Q&A. And today's stream subject, I am currently in quarantine here in the Audiophonics Lab. Unfortunately for me, most of the Site 42 area that I am within is currently infected with a bit of an anomalous mishap. Now I know as soon as you hear containment breach, terrifying anomalies loose in the world, you're concerned about one thing and one thing only. And yes, Puppy of Interest 42 and Grandma J from the commissary are both fine. They are here with me. Unfortunately, I do not have access to my animal wrangler or most of staff. So, I am flying solo today, and I am making sure that at least these two stay safe. But, you might be wondering, what happened? No, intern Tambari, it is not the lack rooms again. No, it is much worse than that. You see, oh, well now that I gave her attention, she has come over for more attention. See, this is what parenting is all about. Hello, baby girl. You made it to the stream. You are not infected with a terrible anomalous disease that is affecting most of the site. No, your puppy belly is right where it's supposed to be, and it is not on the inside where that would be weird, where it would be. Here is a treat from the Containment Hazard Assessment team. There you go. Very tall baby. Good job. Puppy of Interest 42 is a little depressed because she is ronery. So ronery. But she will persevere. Grandma J has got her. They will have cuddles in the bed. No, it is not SCP-022-J-1 that has breached containment in the Site-369 destroyer. Were it so easy to amnesticize people and cause this... I know, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying, Puppy of Interest 42. No, no, no. What we are infected with is a spreading disease, and I have a dramatization of the effects going around the site right now. So allow me to show you what is currently happening all over Site 42. And action. Absolutely horrifying. So, yes, baby girl, I know it was terrifying. I, too, was very frightened of the inside-out disease that seems to have come across the entire site. But, unfortunately, it is true, many within this wing of Site 42 have swallowed their pride and turned it inside out, unfortunately. Now, why is this happening? Well, Puppy of Interest 42, you're fine. Come here, come here. Don't worry. We are hermetically sealed inside of the audiophonics lab. We are safe. So, the reason for this endeavor is a cross-test gone awry, as many containment breaches tend to be, when proper research proposals are not filed and judged properly. You say it's paperwork, I say it's life and death, or life and not being turned inside out. But we are currently under the effects of a spreading disease of SCP-3652, codename the Inverting Box. The Inverting Box is quite a simple anomaly. SCP-3652 is a seemingly normal cardboard box. Although, the cardboard box is very difficult, if not near impossible, to damage. And if you manage to damage it, then you are going to be, it is going to regenerate Wolverine style. There are so many anomalies with healing factors. It's always an issue I don't understand. Cosmic joke that they're trying to keep the anomalies around just to mess with us, honestly. But, suffice it to say, SCP-3652 is called the Inverting Box because anything you put into the Inverting Box turns inside out within 5 minutes. Typically, right around 5 minutes. Yes, Puppy of Interest, I've got you, you're fine. And so, if you put a television set inside the box because you're trying to move a TV, well, you end up with all the glass and casing components on the inside and all the wiring on the outside. Throughout our testing logs, we also put a piece of ribeye steak into there. And you know, ribeye steak, there's steak with a bone inside. Well, if you turn a steak with a bone inside out, you get steak inside a shell made of bone. You see, in order to do the inversion, it does keep the same amount of the components. So, although there's less bone than there is steak, it thinned out the bone into a shell. Very interesting. We also discovered that what the person who puts the object inside the inverting box thinks about the term turn it inside out has an effect on the scenario. When we put simple-minded D-class personnel in with multiple stakes, they would imagine, okay, turn it inside out, so now the bone's on the outside. And we get steak with a bone shell. But if we instead, whoopsie-doopsie, put a molecular scientist in there and let them put a steak in the box, their understanding of turn it inside out goes down to the atoms, which caused a nuclear blast. Now, as I told you, the box will regenerate, and so, even though it was completely obliterated by said nuclear blast, because even that was too much for its damage resistance, it still regenerated. Which was very good for our research, but very sad for the molecular physicist that we accidentally nuclear exploded. That was not great. But Of course, the SCP Foundation is known for being, quote, cold not cruel. Someone did have the idea to test it with a living animal. Someone decided to put a cat in the box. I did not approve of this test, might I have you know. And so, it did what you thought it did. I am now wondering if we fired or demoted to D class or did anything to the person who suggested putting a cat in the box. Well, the D class who put the cat in the box was very sad about it and yelled at us. And, yes, the D class actually tried to stop the test and free the cat after hearing bad noises. As you said, Amber, yes, cats and boxes are a complex relationship. Until we opened the box, we did not know if the cat was right side in or inside out. I wish I knew what kind of... I wish I knew some kind of cool name for when we don't know what's in the box until we open it, so it exists in 2 states until we do so. Interesting thought experiment that would be. Someone should look into that. So, SCP-3652, a box that turns things inside out. Very simple anomaly with a lot of very deep problems if you go into it too deeply. And now, this is why we do not allow SCP anomalies to be staff members until we have thoroughly tested their anomalies in conjunction with other anomalies. Because it is possible that during a cross-test like this, you might cause a ripple effect in the anomaly that causes all of the site to be affected by the anomaly. And it's a bad time for everyone involved. So, as you can see in the demonstration documentation, everyone is walking around just fine. They're just inside out. And seeing as I would prefer my insides on the inside, I am staying in quarantine until this matter is cleared. But you can check out SCP-3652 for more information. I found the documentation for that this morning while I was perusing, and thankfully I did, so at least know what's causing this problem. Also, while I was looking into the author of this work, A1 SCP author Jose Chong, I also found out that they wrote another SCP that I am familiar with, SCP-3487. Now, I will tell you, this one does include cats again, but it is much nicer to them, so take comfort. SCP-3487, codename Cats Think the World Revolves Around Them. Relatable content, am I right? So SCP-3487 is a member of the species Felis catus. It is a seemingly normal cat. It is consistent biologically and physically with an 8-month-old kitten. It displays similar resilience against physical harm to other house cats, which means we did damage the cat, which is, again, not good for our testing. But it also has an accelerated regeneration factor. So, Wolverine cat, again. Why do all the anomalies regenerate? It's just, But whenever 3487 moves, this is when the anomaly occurs. The real anomaly. When SCP-3487 moves, 3487 will actually stay completely still as measured relative to celestial bodies other than Earth, but will rewrite known history such that it has always been at its current location. It is hypothesized that the Foundation was not originally founded with SCP-3487 as one of the first objects in containment, but that it managed to find a way to Site-179 and rewrote history to accommodate this. The anomalous effects of 3487 do not manifest if it is not moving of its own volition, and thus it can be transported without issue. Moving of its own volition includes walking, but also boarding man-made transports, such as elevators, of its own free will. So, it is the cat that has always been there, in containment. Because the world literally revolves around this cat. See, most cats know the world revolves around them, but it's a little more literal for this anomaly, is all I'm saying. So, again, this is by that same SCP author Jose Chung. Thank you for 2 entertaining anomalies. 3652, the inverting box, and 3487, cats think the world revolves around them. So, while we wait for the site to be cleaned up, that way I cannot be quarantined in the audiophonics lab, we're just going to do some general Q&A for the next, 40 minutes. But before we do general Q&A, let me catch up on the donations real quick. Refreshing the chat so I can read it. Chester Factory, thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you were present for that stream, I do believe you should thank Chester Factory for your promotion. Otherwise, we thank you, Chester Factory, for your generosity. 100 stars, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself, well, when the commissary reopens, grab yourself... go with the chicken today. We're not doing steak after the experimentation with the inverting box. That's worrying. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your first and second donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Once the commissary reopens, grab yourself a Greek salad on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, our intel team have gotten intel. Well, that is what they do, so good news. That a group is making a human-sized yellow bunny and spider fusion. What should we do with the intel? I want you to assassinate everyone working on that project. Then I want you to amnesticize the intel team so they don't remember that idea ever existed. Charlie 10 Pro, I am so sorry that in my hurry I actually did not actually read your message. Let me go back to that. My bad. It's a bit chaos today around the site. My bad. I don't know if 682 as a cub pup would be cute or terrifying, but if it was a puppy, how would you tame it? No, Charlie 10 Pro. 682, even in a younger state, is still a ravenous monster that wants to kill all humans, Bender Bending Rodriguez style. So no, it will not be tamed. It will not be cute and cuddly. And Cool Man Fight, your other donation. Dr. Sherman, we learned that saplings of SCP-4521 have a better healing factor than 4521. So we keep getting firewood from 4521 forever, so don't worry. Well, listen, just to be safe, since the saplings have a better regeneration factor, use the saplings to start the farm for your firewood. But furthermore, keep an eye on that farm, because ear-piercing silence tends to have a detrimental psychological effect on our researchers and staff. So, be extra cautious about the staff rotation on that farming initiative. But we'll keep the original 4521 for proper Scream laboratory tests. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a shepherd's pie on your way past the commissary. I got my 999 plush, now we just need a Charlie plush, and other items still waiting for goodies to ship. Also, how was your day, desk, and puppy of interest? So, I'm glad you got your 999 plush. I look forward to being joined by other SCP-themed plushies that are going around right now, such as the Dr. Sherman plushie or the 049 plushie. Also, enjoy the anticipation and suspense of your other goodies not shipping yet, but soon to be. And, you know, except for most of the site being inside out, I guess things are fine around here. I do believe they will get better eventually. Fingers crossed. But me and Puppy of Interest are doing okay. The babies are currently napping soundly, completely not inside out, which is great for them. And Desk, I haven't checked in with you. Are you inside out? Are your inside screws on the outside right now, or are you still normal innards in the inside space? Alright, and now the chat is having a conniption. I just want to continue getting through the donations that I missed, but my terminal here is having a glitch. And it looks like the glitch is done. Desk has informed me that relative and narrative anchoring has kept me set and fine. Cool. So we are not going to be seeing the interior unfinished sides of Desk's wood anytime soon. Scratch that for the record. Do not take that out of context. Don't clip me! Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love right now. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they enjoy its twinkle. Chester Factory, thank you for forcing the chat to keep it 100 times 50. Chat, I'm watching you. If you don't keep it 50 times 100, I am allowing Chester Factory to do bad things. Bad research tests. I don't appreciate how many people are saying they are going to clip me despite the fact that I specifically told you not to. Could we not just put something in the box a second time to turn it back to normal? Well, that depends on the person. If you still have the person whose perception of inside out is still there to fix it. Possibly. That could be a reversal way to fix this experiment. We will see. 100 stars. Thank you for the sparkles, the star, and the sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they enjoy the twinkling and the sparkling. SCP Foundation 0514 Dr. SCP. What a confusing arrangement of titles and names. But thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. The studying that you will do to help us find the way to win the battle against the white names. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again to say, help me, I'm getting attacked by a yellow bunny spider. Cool, cool. The worst of both worlds. Well, considering that it was just made by someone to attack us, you have full right to completely destroy it. So, get rid of it. Don't hold back. You know, since the site doctors are inside out, what about the SCPs in containment? It depends on the distance from the anomaly, same as with the researchers. Everything within its radius has become inside out. Thankfully, that has not caused any of the anomalies to, I don't know, end humanity and reality or something like that. So I guess we just lucked out on that one. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Dr. A. Mask, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, and thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. As we all know, the Ko-Fi only takes 3% of your donation as fees, but YouTube Super Chats take 30% of whatever you donate. So, we appreciate you going through the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Pestered my author to get a site command plushie. I hope he doesn't arrive inside out, that would make me sad. We did have a different anomaly that is an inside-out plushie that I found during my research. Hold on. Stop what's happening here. SCP Inside Out plush. SCP-309. SCP-309 is a small plush that looks as if it has been turned completely inside out. Golden orange fur is present along the seams, while a small amount of cotton stuffing is protruding, visible on the head. Now, if you are pressed firmly against the stuffed animal, the subject quickly picks up 309 and attempts to hold it, the subject will be violently and painfully turned inside out over the course of 5 to 10 seconds. Skeletons are unaltered, but all soft tissues are inverted such that muscles, tendons, ligaments, and various internal organs are resituated on the exterior of the body. So, hey, this is a non-animated version of what everyone looks at walking around the site. Except right now, the people walking around the site do have what we would constitute as bone armor, because their skeletons are actually on the outside. So not exactly like this, but somewhat like this. So yes, be aware of SCP-309, the Inside Out plushie, because it too will turn you inside out. There's a lot of that going around. Be careful. Just going to give that one an upvote as well. Intern Doings, or Doings, says, have you ever tried telling SCP-682 to stop? Well, unfortunately, we are not in possession of the one person who would make that possible. There is a little-known police officer by the name of Detective Cosgrove. And Detective Cosgrove has a strange fourth-wall shattering ability to cause any situation happening near him to cease by utilizing the phrase, "Now cut that out." Somehow when Detective Cosgrove says those magic words, any supervillain or anomaly or group of interest raiding our site will just stop and walk away sulking. We have tried for years to get Detective Cosgrove to be a member of the Foundation, but he is a man of little ambition, unfortunately. Keeps running around with this weird blue guy with lightning bolt hair and long underwear on. It's peculiar. Weird life choices. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again to say, I tried everything. Nothing is working on it. We tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. Well, run over to the sarcophagus of SCP-076. If Abel is able to come out, then perhaps we can at least delay the plushy spider by letting Abel have a crack at it. And I mean, at worst comes to worst, like Oates says, Abel has been known to spawn a flamethrower in the presence of that abomination. So perhaps Abel would do so again. Dr. A. Mask, thank you for donating again to say, incoherent screaming. Oh, I do hope that you did not pick up the SCP-309 plushie too fast. That would not be good for you. Gamer, as a time check, we are currently 30 minutes into this 55-minute stream. We have about 25 minutes remaining. Yes, Puppy of Interest 42, I am too frightened for all of our compatriots who have been turned inside out by varying anomalies. And I know the only cure for your worries is belly scritches. So, you blep out down there, and don't worry, we will be fine. There you go. Very good, baby. What about Agent Charlemagne? Agent Charlemagne has not to be located yet, but considering I have not heard his particular brand of melodramatic yowling, I do believe that he must be safely within a storage closet somewhere waiting out this whole thing. Probably mildly annoyed at the whole inconvenience of it, if I know Agent Charlemagne. When is the next stream? Well, Intern Max, we stream every day. The problem is we don't know what time. Every day is a different day, which is why you want to make sure that you have that notification bell rung so that YouTube notifies you when we go live. And if you are 18 or over, you can join the Site42 Discord server to get a Discord notification ping when I go live as well. That's a little more reliable. Question, would you contain Jujutsu Sorcerers and or Cursed Spirits, and if so, how would you contain Gojo? Well, D-Class, obviously, if we could contain all of those things, we would, because they are anomalous AF. But unfortunately, they are also essentially a rival group of interest. Technically, both of them, although the Jujutsu Sorcerers are a group of interest that is a little more organized, with a hierarchical structure, whereas the Cursed Spirits are much more spread out and chaotic. So we could almost classify them as individual anomalies, and meanwhile, we would probably have to enter diplomatic relations with the with the Jujutsu Sorcerers to help. I mean, they are technically maintaining normality in a way. So, honestly, we might team with them a little more willingly against the Cursed Spirits. I keep got to go back and forth between Cursed Spirit and Jujutsu Sorcerer. If you're turned inside out by the box and then pick up the inside out plush, do you turn right side out again? Puppet Boy, that is a interesting test that could help the situation. If you can requisition 309, that SCP-309, then we can maybe give that a test. That could be the way we clean up this mess. Now, the testing documentation for SCP-309 does say that though not immediately fatal, the process is irreversible and universally considered painful. So it is possible that not only would 309 fix the scenario, but it could stop you from being turned inside out ever again. It could be a defense. We could put a person... No, we can't do that because when we put the cat inside 3652, it did come out dead. It did not survive the process, so putting them back inside out using 309, even if it did work, they would still not be brought back to life. So, no, not a successful plan of attack here, sorry. Yes, Puppy of Interest 42, I do know this is a terrifying place to be. But we are going to be fine. The chat is here with us, and we are chill. We are chill. So chill. Good baby. Whenever Agent Goose isn't around, our resident on-site animal wrangler, Puppy of Interest 42's anxiety skyrockets. But I'm sure that the stocks for the other animals are being well kept during this disaster. Pimp Demon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some... Well, I guess try some ravioli, because you tried spaghetti inside a tortilla. I enjoyed every bite, mwahaha. A spaghetti burrito. A spaghetti-rito. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, I got you, puppy of interest. Okay, content warning for allegations of pedo shit. Hi, intern Dodo. Just a heads up, you have broken a rule here at Site 42. That rule is, we do not talk about Dr. Bright. Now, we're not too mad at you because you probably didn't realize this, but the character of Dr. Bright has been almost completely deleted from the SCP Wiki, and that's because the author of Dr. Bright was banned from the SCP community for a whole bunch of allegations of grooming stuff. And so, especially because the character of Dr. Bright was literally part of the grooming, as in the amulet was part of the author's possession fetish, and the author would send replicas of the necklaces to victims to take them to take risque photos, so to speak, wearing the necklace. Yeah, that's the character is gone from the site because it's part of the grooming. So yeah, we don't talk about Bruno here at Site 42. Please, in the future, do not do that. I just had to have the Bruno talk with an SCP fan recently. It can get difficult, Froy, and the hardest part is that I cannot force people not to like the Dr. Bright character. Hell, except for the creepy stuff, which you can say that about a lot of things, I enjoyed the goofiness of the Bugs Bunny antics of Dr. Bright. The problem is that it was attached to that ball and chain of, oh my god, this is just the author's fetish, all up in our Beale. And also the fame of writing Dr. Bright got the author all of those prospective victims. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. So, there are times when you should talk about it, and there are times when you shouldn't. For instance, if I go to a con and someone is cosplaying Dr. Bright, I'm not going to bring it up. We're in a public place, and they came dressed as the character, and changing that on the fly is uncomfortable, and it's just going to be a bad conversation. So I'm not going to talk about it to someone at a con in cosplay in person. But if I can dissuade them from wearing that costume before going, I might. Here at Site 42, however, because I am in control of the site, that means the character is banned from this channel. I mean, I killed him off in my works, but have reworked his character into a new character. Well, yes, Captain Gilbert, there is Dr. Elias Shaw and Dr. Lachlan Cairns as replacements for immortals with loose morals that you can utilize for wacky hijinks and such. Also, as Desk says, if you are a fan of Bruno and would like a new doctor to enjoy, I will always suggest Alto Clef. Better story, better sad, better happy, etc. Like, is the word banned? Like, we can't say the word at all? Intern Dixie. The word bright is fine to use if it's not related to the doctor. That's why the word bright itself is not auto-modded on the channel. But the phrase Dr. Bright, in its many spellings, is. Obviously, we're not just banning the word bright from our vocabularies. But we don't talk about that doctor here. Alright. That is enough of that subject. We are leaving on to more positive situations. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. What if you put SCP-055 in SCP-3652? Intern, assume. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have a 055. Now, I did see someone having a very funny prospective idea for SCP-3652 testing. Was what if we put SCP-2719, codename Inside, into SCP-3652? Would it become outside? Would the pointer start making things outside of things, rather than inside of things? That is an interesting cross-test. I mean, it would screw up a lot of experiments we're currently doing with 2719. Could be funny, though. I'm starting on my second draft of my superhero SCP tale. I'm getting very excited for this story. Very nice! I do look forward to your successful posting as you're going through the process seemingly in a very thorough and workman manner. I hope you're getting very good critiques from people who will appreciate such a story. I've been practicing writing Dr. Sherman. I'm doing a joke incident report. Oh, okay, intern Accolade. Well, I hope you have captured my very wise and important personae properly. Yes, a great leader for Site 42. Very professional. Handles things very succinctly. No problems at all. Highly hyper competent. For sure. That is how I would be described in your article. I cannot wait to read it. Dr. Sherman, why haven't we used the number 055? Well, Oates, it doesn't mean that we've never used it. It's possibly something that was just recently decommissioned or neutralized in some manner. I mean, remember, we do have SCP-048, codename the Cursed SCP number, in which everything we make SCP-048 somehow becomes destroyed. So it's not uncommon for us not to have an SCP in a designation for decommissioning or neutralization reasons, for recent escape, although we usually keep the log for those, or because the number's cursed. Site 42 staff, just a time check. We are 11 minutes into the stream. 11 minutes remaining in stream. On the topic of 055, would SCP-028 solve 055? Pesky Bird, I have not found that answer yet. My problem is still that I cannot find or confirm that the knowledge from 028 is forgettable or not. I don't believe it is, but I don't see where I read that. If you can forget the knowledge with amnestics or some sort of anti-memetic, then it should function, right? Oh, DJ, thank you. Reminder. You did find that incident report. That's what I remember seeing, but I was very busy yesterday. Incident report. (028F). Alright. I was assigned the duty of biweekly inspection, blah, blah, blah. 3 high school students found their way to the site of SCP-028. I heard screams coming from down the hall. He repeatedly screamed, "It's killed all of them. It's unstoppable, and you don't know what it's capable of." Other incomprehensible blabbering. Get him to calm down enough to say, Site 19, number 5th, number what? What are you... So, yes, it seems that the knowledge and the forgetty spaghetti of the 055 anomaly keep interacting back and forth like a tug of war on this person. So if you want to read incident report I-028F, then you will find out what happens when that happens. So, Pesky Bird, there is your intel. DJ has got you. Alright, refreshing the chat. At this point, I'm almost certain that Site 19 is cursed. Intern Zen, do not believe everything about curses. All SCP sites have errors because human error is intrinsic to humankind. There is no perfect research. There is no perfect person. Mistakes will be made. Do not let it get to your head. We have work to do. Do we have any plastic or 3D printed anomalies? Intern Gamer, I will not believe that the, I don't know about 3D printed, but I do know we have a litany of plastic objects that are anomalous. Too vast of a list actually to go through, but I guess if you search plastic on the database, you will find a litany of them, yes. Apparently SCP-4663 is 3D printed, as DJ has pointed out in a quick search. "3D printed spiders, printing printed spider, printers, printing spiders, printers, printing spiders, printing printed spiders, printers, printing spiders, printers, printing spiders, printed, printing printed printer spiders, printing spidered spider printers, printing spider printered printers. The code name of that article just gave me a migraine. I didn't just have a stroke, everyone. That's what it says. SCP-4663. 3D printed spiders, printing printed printers, printing spiders, printers, printing spiders, printing printed spider printers, printing spider printers, printing spiders, printing printed printers, spiders, printing spiders, printers, printing spider printered printers. Ugh, why? And so, anomalous species of arachnid indigenous to Europe and North and South America. They consume inorganic substances, but mainly subsist on metals and plastics. So they're almost eat anythings. And then they construct instances that function as 3D printers. And then they feed on the biological material of the -1s, which they use to print more of the spiders as a means of reproduction. That was a lot. What if the doctor who suggested the cat experiment was Dr. Burns? Gonna be honest, sad to say, it would require a much larger offense to be Dr. Burns's motif of action. Thoughts on SCP-111? I'm unfamiliar with the anomaly on its designation number. Let's see what we got. Codename the Dragon Snails. So, apparently artificial species of invertebrate vaguely resembling snails. 20 centimeters in length, 12 centimeters in width, 15 centimeters in height. Hollow sacs below the lower jaws containing methane from digestive byproducts. They can breathe fire because of that. Generally in the event of stress or anger. When it comes to dragon snails, my opinions are don't make them mad. Please do not burn down the site. That's my opinion on them. I'm sorry I'm stuck on the fact that the clock works as a 3D printer and no one can change my mind. 914? Really? I mean, I guess if you claim that it pulls in the resource and then regenerates it in a manner, I would consider it more of a reassembly-disassembly apparatus, but I guess you could theoretically consider inserting a resource and having it come out in a different form. Partial credit. I don't like it, is what I'm saying. $11.46 is a legit 3D printer. Psycho printer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Appears to be a heavily modified 3D printer. Modifications include a screen, blah, 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 blah. Living statues. Oh, cool. Russia's doing living statues again. Great. Just what we need. More living statues after the ice sculpture fiasco. Russia? Remember, at the end of the day, we say, fuck ice soldiers. Fuck them. Bastard ice soldiers. Floating away today. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a chocolate eclair on your way past the commissary. SCP-007 is a guy with an Earth for a stomach. 008 is a zombie plague. SCP is anomalous red liquid that tears every water it touches into itself. So in theory, if 7, 8, 9, what do we get? Oh no. 7 is a guy with Earth for a stomach. 8 is a zombie plague. 9 is a red liquid that turns all water that touches it into itself. So if 7, 8, 9. If Earth for a stomach, 8 the zombie plague, or no, 8 the liquid, then its liquids would turn into the red liquid and it would die. And if it is truly the Earth inside the stomach, in a way that we're like Matryoshka-dolling the planets, then we also die because now it died because its Earth was us and we died. And now I've gone cross-eyed. 100 stars. Thank you for sending 7 100s to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. And Site 42 staff, that is the end of today's coffee break. Got to keep it short. We got to make sure that we clean up this mess of inside-out people. But, as is tradition here at the end of stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But I am not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones that I personally wrote. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub. There on the database, you can see all of the SCPs I personally wrote and contributed voice lines to. And one tab over, you'll see a list of links. Links that people are interested in finding sometimes, but then they just don't look hard enough. And sadly, they don't get what they want when they go to those links because they don't go to the links. But not you, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You're clever. You'll find the links. And on that link list, you will also be able to become a patron or a YouTube channel member to support us monthly. You can do Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chats to support us one donation at a time. You can also do the most important thing right now, which is purchase your Dr. Sherman Site Director Edition plushie before time runs out. Either way, if you are donating or buying merch, then you are supporting the channel directly, and we appreciate that greatly. Your generosity is what helps us keep the lights on here for myself, Desk, Agent Goose, and the rest of the Site 42 staff. Now, if you cannot donate or buy merch because you are part of the Broke Gang, do not fret. We understand starving artists. We are an arts community, after all. It happens. But you can still help us out by being an intrepid member of Mobile Task Force Sci 42, codename The Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, not just on our works, but on the works of other SCP Foundation content. Whether you are talking about the SCP Wiki stories and its authors and artists, whether you are supporting YouTubers who do SCP readings or SCP live action film or SCP animations, whether it's the game devs, the podcasters, the merch makers, you are helping us to get bigger and better SCP content made. We need to like, share, subscribe, comment, chat. We need to clip. We need to share memes. We need to spread Site 42, the other SCP projects, and all together we will become great, mighty. We will be like Markiplier, feature film SCP in the theaters. We'll be like Jacksepticeye, feature animated films of spooky shit. It will be grand, and we thank you for your service in bringing this future to be. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3909, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a really rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 503-1, 517-552, content warning on the last one's a rough read. So, Site 42 staff, this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. Swallow my doubt, turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. I want to put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin around to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. The credit song is Inside Out by Eve 6. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect.